Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. Planning to get away this summer? Then make yourself feel safe when you are away from home. Call J.J. Surlis and the Safety Systems crew, because what they can do is they can give you a top-notch security system where you can check out your house via your phone or tablet, wherever you are. You got the cameras there. You can lock and unlock the doors from afar. Safety Systems does it all, and you're going to get a better contract than any of these national companies. There's a reason you see Safety System signs in so many yards, including mine. You see them on the sides of so many East Tennessee businesses. Safety Systems. All right, let me quickly give you some information. Right here, The Athletic did a research project this week. They went back over the last 6 years to see which teams in the SEC had the most in-state signees. You see Tennessee, 26% of their signees over the last 6 years have been from inside the state. Auburn and Alabama get fewer than that, but in Alabama's case, that's because they can cherry pick from all over the country. But it doesn't look to be Tennessee's getting better, so I think that number's solid, may go up a little bit, a tick, but it's not a bad thing. And 15 years ago, we would have said, well, that's a disadvantage being in Tennessee. No longer the case, I don't think. You also see where each team gets most of their external signees, and for Tennessee, obviously, that's Georgia. Auburn gets most of theirs out of Georgia. Vandy gets theirs out of Georgia. South Carolina goes to Georgia. Florida goes to Georgia to get their non-in-state guys. All right, let's take a look at recruiting budgets. The Knoxville News Sentinel had this week, and this was from 2022, not this past class, but a year ago. Tennessee, fourth in America, $2.9 million they spent on football recruiting. You'll see with Oklahoma and Texas coming in, 7 of the top 10 are all SEC schools in terms of the recruiting budgets, but Tennessee's got a big one. They spent the number 4 amount. They wound up with the number 17 class. That was from 2022. Now let's take a look at the current class looking ahead to 2024. Tennessee, Georgia's up there at number 1. LSU's number 3. Tennessee's number 7. Third best in the SEC. Boy, Pat Narduzzi doing well at Pitt, getting them up there now. But Tennessee 7th overall. All right, back with Ryan Callahan, back with Marlon Walls here at our Parisian bistro table. You cover recruiting for Go Vols 24/7. You know what's going around the SEC. You know coaches, staffs, reputations. Marlon, you were recruited as a player. You've been a high school coach. You've seen guys recruit. You've seen Tennessee recruit guys. Yeah. My question to the two of you, and I'm not going to let you say both. Some guys are better with the X's and O's. Some guys are better with the Jimmies and Joes. There are some guys who are good with both. I think this staff is showing us they're probably good with both. But if you had to pick, is this staff better at the X's and O's or the procurement of Jimmies and Joes?
I would say they're better at the coaching side of things, and I will include, it's not just X and O's to me, it's building of the culture and managing of the roster and players that are already in your program. They're really good at that side of things. So I think they're showing they're better at recruiting. To your point, John, I think they're more balanced than people thought when the staff came in. That was the big question about Josh Heupel. Now that they're starting to have some on-field results to sell, they're showing they can recruit at a high level in the SEC. So they're better, it's more balanced, but I still like this staff's coaching ability probably a little bit more than the recruiting ability.
What do you think,
I'm thinking X's and O's, but I'm gonna go against just because I'm gonna go back over the last couple of years. We've come down to some really good recruits that we've lost to some major programs that are constantly in national championship contention. We had a major receiver out of Ohio State that we was battling with, which those guys are putting first rounders in the NFL every year. So from a recruiting standpoint, you've got to think again. Other SEC schools, not even SEC schools, big-time programs are going against Tennessee and talking against Tennessee. You've got to have some really good recruiting pitches, really good guys that are doing some recruiting for you to still have ends on some of those major recruits. After us coming from where we are and trying to get to where we are, that's got to be a big deal.
And they've been doing it while this NCAA thing has been hanging over their head. One thing we were talking here in break, and this will be very quickly, Tennessee recently lined up a 4-star quarterback recruit. Let's talk about why that's impressive and what that says about their recruiting. You've got Nico. Everybody in the country, whether it's fair or not, everybody knows or thinks that he's getting $8 million. So if you're a high school kid, you know you're going to be sitting behind him. You think you're going to be sitting behind them. You get a 4-star quarterback, a top 100 guy, knowing that, that's pretty good. And you said he's kind of a sandwich guy is the way they view it.
Yeah, I mean,
Explain.
a lot of people might look at it that way because in the 2025 class, they're in on some highly ranked guys. George McIntyre is a name you're going to hear a lot in state at Brentwood Academy. He's a top 50 player nationally at quarterback in the 2025 class. Tennessee's already involved with him and some others. So to get a guy like this in what a lot of people would view as a tough class for Tennessee to get an elite quarterback, that's really impressive. And so they beat out some good programs. North Carolina, where he could have followed Drake May, he chose Tennessee over that. So it shows you that Josh Heupel's reputation in developing quarterbacks is going to get them a long way every year. And it tells you that they can still sell this opportunity, even with Nico being seen as the quarterback of the future.
Jake Merklinger?
Jake Merklinger, yeah, from Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, very good. Ryan and Marlon, we'll see you back over there at that table. When we come back, could Kennedy Chandler getting cut by the Grizzlies impact Tennessee's basketball roster this year? We'll explain that. We'll talk about roster building and basketball. We got much more to come on the Sports Source. Come on back.